Today I was thinking about something. I remember I was having a conversation with some inmates at the prison. And we was talking about this white woman who had choked five, I think, choked the child and then cut his throat, killed him. And she went to the police station and told them everything, turned herself in. And this brought me back to a question that was asked of me on a panel a little while ago. And the guy asked me that if a mother harms or kills a child, what does that say about the father? And and I figured, well, this is more impromptu podcast. I was just going to talk about it in a podcast. So let me do my intro and we'll just talk about it. Hold on. Welcome back, everybody, properly to the Brother Speak podcast. This is Brother Speak. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. I know this is more of an impromptu podcast. It was just stuff that was going on in my head. And, I just wanted to talk about this right quick. So, this was a question that was asked me on a panel a little while ago. If a mother harms or kills a child, what does that say about the father? And I thought about it. I rambled it in my head, and I battled back and forth with it because it's kind of like, on one hand, it's okay. She has a feeling about this, and then there's another thing that what's with these people today with these advertising porn? Jesus Christ, y'all need money that bad? Damn. Anyway, so I battled with this thought process back and forth, saying on certain situations, maybe because how she was feeling with the father, maybe she. But then ultimately, I just decided on one thing. I decided that says nothing about the father. If a mother harms or kills a child because of what the father does, to me, it means that this woman never wanted the child for herself anyway. What it means is she had the child for that man. So, in essence, that she doesn't have unconditional love for that child, because a lot of people say, mothers have unconditional love for the children. And for some, it's true, but many seem like it's not. Because if you can harm your child or beat your child or, or kill your child because of what some man did to you or not doing for you or whatever, that means you never cared for that child in the first place. You were only doing it to please that man. Now, this ain't a race issue because somebody's going to say, "Oh, you're just going after black women." No, we got the woman I was talking about in my intro. That was a white woman did that, and this happened in Houston. We've had women in Houston killing killing their children. We've had Andrea Yates. Anybody remember her? She drowned her children. Now, what did that say about what it says about him? Really doesn't say nothing. It's That's her decision to do that to the child. Hey, Miss Sugarbaum, how you doing? It says that she really didn't care for those children. It was only dependent on whether he's there or not. Because let's just say he's still there. That still doesn't change the fact that she's only having the children for him, and she's only taking care of the children for him, not for her own. And we're gonna start finding out, and we're starting to find out today more and more that a lot of parents didn't have children because the parent themselves really want the children. They only have the children for their partner or some other selfish reason. It's not for even the benefit of the children, not for their legacy. They just have the children because either they think that that's what they're supposed to have, or to keep this person happy, or keep this person around. And this ain't just limited to women. I know because I know some Mansfield dude would come around and talk about, oh, yeah, these women do that. No, that's abuse, was getting these chicks pregnant, and so they can keep them around, so they can have quote unquote in-house pussy, or they want to keep that wife happy. They're having children when they really don't want to have children. But in actuality, a lot of these people don't want children like that. And a lot of us are starting to realize that really our parents really didn't want us like that. They really had us because they wanted to make their husband or their wife happy, or this chick was a side piece, and to get back at him, or to keep him in her life. She has the baby, or to this guy just to show that he was there, gets this woman pregnant. And it really was not about the children at all. So, to answer that question, does that say anything about the father that the mother harms the child? No. Because whether he there or not, that woman's supposed to take care of that child regardless. Whether that man is there or not, she's supposed to care for that child regardless. Because at the end of the day, it's still her legacy. That's her child. And if you don't want the best for your child because of what some other person is doing, that's say you didn't want this child in the first place. So, and I think that we're starting to find out because we're seeing that people are not having children like that. They're not having 4, 5, 6 children. They may have 1 or 2, and that's it. Because that's who that's how many they want. That's what they want. Hey, Conscious Morning, what's up, man? And why people are not having so many children? Well, let's look at the society right now. One, can you even afford this many children? And two, do you really want all these children around? Because let's say back in the day where you on the farm, yeah, you need multiple children because you need somebody to keep the farm up. You need somebody to help with the business. You don't need that no more. So now, people who have money or they're a little more intelligent, they're like, wait a minute, why am I going to have this child if I know I cannot take care of this child? Why am I going to put this child in a bad situation because some selfish need? No, I'm not selfish. No, I'm not going to put a child in this situation. If I can't take care of it, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to be a single father or a single mother. I'm not going to put my child in some this drama and shit. No, I just rather not have the children. Whatever happens, happens. And a lot of times when I hear other people talking about, well, if you get older, nobody gonna take care of you and blah blah blah. To me, that's a scare tactic. That's a very sad scare tactic. What you're saying is you're so scared about dying alone that you're just gonna have children. So God forbid somebody take care of you. Well, here's the thing. Just because you have those children, there's no guarantee they're gonna take care of you when you get older. You still got to raise those children. You still got to give them skills and to be able to make it out on their own so they can make their money. So then when you do get older, they come take care of you without stress and strife. Because listen, I was a caretaker for my mother. That was not fun to deal with. And still had to go to work. And at times I was the only one taking care of my mother. Now eventually I got help from my cousins, but I was the main caregiver. I don't think a lot of people understand how hard that is. Especially when you have limited resources. So if you're going to run around and have children, at least have them give them the ability to be able to make money, have skills enough so they can get a job, make money, so that they're in a good situation, so that they can come take care of you when you get older. But if you're just going to have children just to have children, so hopefully somebody be there, but you don't teach them anything, what's the point? You don't treat them right. You don't do nothing for them, and you expect them to have this loyalty and respect for you. And I know where it comes from. It comes from that Bible. But see, people take one side of that Bible and they don't look at the other side, because it also says don't anger your children. But people forget about that. They just say honor your mother and father, but they don't get the other part. Because I've had coworkers, male and female, didn't show up for work. They did the check, they found them dead. Think those kids came and had funerals for them? No, they didn't. They let the state handle them. Because they alienated those children away from them. See, it's not just having children. You got to have children that respect you and care for you, and you in turn care for them. So I don't care what that other person does. I don't care if the father of the children treat you like shit. If you as a mother don't take care of those children, they still gonna resent you. They're not gonna care what he did. They're gonna be looking at you. Same with your fathers. I don't care how this woman treated you. I don't care if she's putting you through hell. If you don't show that you're trying to take care of these kids and you trying to fight for these children, they're gonna resent you. I've seen it personally. My brother didn't take care of his children. He was on the drugs. He tried to come back in his children's life. They treated him like shit. My mother had to tell him, like, you weren't a father to these children. What you expecting? You can't come and be a father when you weren't a father for this whole time they were growing up. That's not how that works. I remember somebody was telling, a guy was telling me, well, she gave up her 9 months to have this child, and I told the guy, so what? But what does it matter if the child's here and you treating this child like shit? That boy or girl is not going to recognize that you gave up 9 months and could have died if you treating them like shit. They're not going to recognize that. It's like some people just they expect stuff because you did this and you did that. No, that's not how they go. It's not just you have these children, it's what you're doing for these children. Are you making their lives better? Are you giving them life lessons so they can grow and be something? What are you doing for these children? A lot of y'all sperm donors and womb holders. You're not mothers and fathers. And you wonder why these children don't respect either gender right now. Why would I? Why would I respect the other gender? I I've never had no positive experience with either side. Why dudes so quick to mouth off to other dudes? Why are they so disrespectful to their elders? Guess what? My father wasn't there. Why am I respect the older man for? If my father, who's the first elder that you supposed to have in your life, ain't worthy of respect, why the fuck I'm gonna respect any other elders? If my mother wasn't anything worthy to be respected, how am I gonna respect any other woman? And that's on either side. This ain't gender specific. I'm talking about here. This ain't gender. Because you see it. You see it online all the time. Women are quick to call each other bitches and hoes and sluts and all that. Dudes are quick to call bitches and hoes, I'll kill you and all kinds of stuff. They are quick to disrespect each other. And I'm not talking about gender, man versus woman. I'm talking about men on men, women on women. They quick to disrespect each other. That comes back from childhood. Is your mother worthy of respect? Is your father worthy of respect? And no, just because they are older does not mean they're worthy of respect. What have they done? Sometimes people just want respect because they hear. No, that's not how it goes. You don't get respect because you were here. You don't get respect because you lived. What you did with your life? Did you help somebody? Were you an example of how I should live my life? I remember this guy. He promoted to sergeant in my unit, and he was leaving to another unit. And I was talking to him, and I was like, man, I'm gonna miss you, man. You held this unit down, man. They gonna miss you here. He said, no, man, I looked up to you because you came in here and you did your work, and you don't bother nobody. You don't give nobody problems. You inspired me. That's not something I didn't ask him for that. He volunteered that out of his own mouth. So, do your children, when they speak of you, do they speak of you in high regard? Like, you hear me talk about my mother, you hear me talk about my stepfather, you hear me talk about my father-in-law, mother-in-law. I talk with them in high regard, not because they're older, because of what they have done. Even my father to a degree, I have I hold him in some regard because of what he done for me. But that's because they did something for me, and their lives is worthy of respect and of high regard. A lot of these parents out here now ain't worth of respect and high regard because they treat their children like garbage. Because this man left me, or this woman left me, this man won't come see me, this woman won't give me no vagina, no money, whatever. So they take it out on the children. Oh, hey, BMT. Yeah, you remember that panel we were on Every Star Network? We were talking about the mother hurting the children, and remember Max asked that question. He had asked that question of us on that panel. I don't know. That was a little while ago. So that's what I was that was what I alluding to. If the father's not involved, how does that? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if the father's not there, how does that? It Yeah, you get I think you get what I'm saying with that. What I mean by the whole thing is that if that mother harms that child or kills that child, that's reflection on her. It's not a reflection on that father, because it means that that mother never cared for that child in the first place. And like I said, the same, if the father does something to the child or don't want to be in this child life, that's not a reflection of the mother. It's a reflection on him. Because when we start saying, well, if the father was there and the mother probably wouldn't have done that, that takes away the responsibility of that mother for her actions towards that child. I'm saying, it takes away that father responsibility, the actions towards that child, and we we tend to do that a lot for parents, especially of single children. I mean, single parents of children. She's making a decision to be bad unless the dad is present and stop it. She's making a decision to be bad unless that dad is present and stop it. Yeah, even if he does stop it, at some point he's not going to be there. Whether he leaves or he go to work, she might do something regardless. I've heard women say that their mothers were terrible to them, but their fathers were great to them. Still reflection, like I said, it's a reflection of her, and vice versa. Mothers were great to their children, but the fathers were shit. It's still a reflection of that person, not the reflection of the other parent. And I think again, we're starting to learn that really a lot of parents, a lot of these parents out here really didn't want these children because they wanted children. They wanted to have children for someone else, to keep someone else, to make someone else happy, but it's not there to make themselves happy for their legacy. And it's sad. That's why, like I said, I don't. That's how. That's like how can a man step away from homicide while pregnant? She has to make the final decision. Yeah, that's it. She has to make that decision. Um, Ultimately, she makes the decision on how she's going to treat that child from before birth and after birth. You know, it's just again, it's just it's even sad on the more on the women's side because we take a lot of responsibility off of women and put everything on the men, especially when we're talking about children, and that's bad because it's like you're kind of you're giving women an out on stuff that really they don't need to get an out for. How you treat your child is how you treat your child. And if it's dependent on someone else, then yeah, you probably shouldn't have these children. You know, it's a sad thing, and I think that that's why I kind of I don't like the notion some people be saying, well, we need to have children, we need to have more children because we need the community needs more children. I'm like, look, I get what you're trying to say, but the problem is there's a lot of us don't need to be having children. And a lot of people were having children because they felt that that's something they had to do. Their family pushed them, friends pushed them. And then the children be here and they don't know what to do with them. They treat them like, they either treat them like shit or they don't do what they need to do for this child so they can be effective. And it's like, okay, we need to stop pushing people to have children. Instead, push them to make good decisions as far as whether they should have children or not. Some people need to go look in that mirror and actually, before they have this child with this person, do I really want to be a parent? I don't think a lot of people look themselves in that mirror. You know, they think they want this child, but they really want it for this other person. And instead of just looking in that mirror and say, do I really want this child? What would happen if this other person leave? Either they leave, they pass away. What am I going to do with this child then? I don't think a lot of people really look at themselves in the mirror because, that's pessimistic. Oh, you're ruining something before it even. No, this is a real question you have to ask yourself because, hey, some relationships just don't work. You can have a child 5, 10 years in, you're separating. It don't have to be somebody cheated. It don't have to be somebody who was beating someone. It could be you just break apart for whatever reason. Now, how are you going to treat this child if this person leaves? Or you have to run from this person with the child. How are you going to treat this child? I think people really need to sit back and look in that mirror and really think about this. Now, just people want to just have children just to have children, but you're not really thinking about, hey, what if I have to take care of this child by myself? What do this person? other person really want to have children? Do I really want to have children? I don't think a lot of people did look themselves in that mirror. And then the child's here. Now they're making it. Now they're asking them that question. It's too late. Now the child's here. I remember RBO was saying something like this on a fucking panel. Oh, you could just have the children. You just dump them on your parents or your grandparents. I said, what the fuck? Hold up. So you're gonna put something you made and dump it on your parents? That's insane to me. That's like a grown man saying something like that. That disgusted me because I know how hard it was for my mom to take care of me. Why would I put that? Not only did she raise me, now I'm gonna put another child on there. I'm not gonna do that to her. It's one of the reasons why I didn't even have children. I was like, what? I was worried about my wife's health at the time because I don't know if she's gonna pass away giving birth, and then or die right after that. Then I'm gonna be a single parent, and I was not going to be a single parent. I wasn't going to do that. You know, it's it's something that people don't really think about, and it's sad because we our children are suffering right now, and then we have so much vitriol towards abortion, but we don't even think about if we really want children. Why are you so for or against abortion? Do, the real question you should be asking: do you even want to have children? Do you even want to raise a child? What abortion thing ain't my problem. Do I even want to have a child? Because if I'm not raising that child and doing the best that I can to raise a child, you might as well just abort it because you're setting that child up for failure off the gate. So I think that's the main thing that people really need to be looking at. Is not whether to have children or not. It's whether am I going to make a am I going to be a good parent? Can I be a good parent whether this other person is here or not? And I know that sound kind of it's kind of weird to think about. Maybe it is kind of pessimistic or something like that. But you got to think about that, especially in 2022, where we're not fighting to stay together. We're fighting to use each other and abuse each other, but we're not fighting to stay together. We're fighting to have control over one another, but we're not fighting to stay together. And if this is how it's going to be, then we got to really be mindful of whether we're going to have these children or not, because you might end up being a single father or a single mother. And what are you going to do if that happens? How are you going to take care of this child? Are you having this child because of this other person? Or are you really having the child for yourself, for your legacy? Now I know I focus more on men, but if there's any women that come over here because of the title, you got to really think about this. Are you really having these children for yourself? Or are you having it for someone else? Are you having it for this guy? Fellas, are you really having this children for yourself? Or are you having it for this girl? And if you really, if you even have an inkling that you're having this child not for yourself, you may want to consider not having children at all. You may want to get the condom wrong, the vasectomy, get whatever stuff you got to do to prevent yourself from having children. Hello, Miss Monica Max. How you doing, man? But I think people really got to, if you're not having the children for yourself and you're having it for some other people, for someone else, you don't need to have children because you're doing the service to yourself and those children. And we got enough children who don't have good mothers and fathers in their lives. We have enough of that out here. And, I would rather have children. I'd rather have people have children that they love and cherish and respect, and they're going to do right by them than just having children on here because you want to save the community or you want to please your partner, please your husband, please your wife. I'd rather you don't have children at all. If that means that you gotta let this other person go, you might have to let that other person go. If those people, if your partner wants children, and I hate to say partner, but that's what we're here now. If your partner wants children and you don't, you might need to let that person go. Many children, many children are oops babies. Exactly. We got a lot of oops babies. A lot of these children were not playing. A lot of these children were had for other than legacy and building a family. They were having children for anything other than that. And that has done a disservice to a lot of these men and women out here. A lot of these men and women find out that, yeah, you was a oops baby. Yeah, your mom didn't have you because she loved you. She loved that guy and she wanted him. This guy wanted to have this child because he wanted to leave to show that he was here with this woman or have access, unlimited access to this woman. They didn't have these children because they wanted children. And that's why a lot of these children are getting harmed and killed by the mother, and even by the father. You got you got men and women killing these kids, harming, beating these kids, killing these kids, raping these kids, doing all kinds of despicable stuff to children, innocent children. They ain't asked to be here. There's two people fucking and deciding that, and oops, it's children here. A lot of people would not came here out of love, and a lot of us are finding that out. It's like, look, I'm not having no children. If I don't love this child, I'm not gonna do what I need to do to raise it. No, I'm not having. That was my motto. I was like, I'm not gonna have no children, and I can't, and I'm not gonna be the best father that I can be. Just not gonna do it. But a lot of people don't think like that. A lot of people just hope for the best. Can't hope for the best. Not in 2022. You got to be the best. I'm not saying you got to be perfect, but you got to be the best that you can be for yourself so you can be the best for your children. You can't do that. Don't do it. Don't have children. Don't don't put these children in bad situations where you're gonna possibly take out your frustrations and anger on the child. Just like I said, if a mother harms and kills a child, it says nothing about the father. All it says is that that woman was a piece of shit human being. If that father hurts, kills a child, or don't want to even see the child, it says nothing about the mother. It says the father was a shitty human being. We need to stop giving people excuses for harming children. We need to stop giving people excuses for having oops babies. There is no excuse. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's We need to stop giving these people excuses for harming children. There is no excuse to harm a child. It's a child. They didn't ask to be here. It's two people make a decision to have sex. You're sticking your dick in a vagina and you shooting up the club. You're opening your legs to this dude and letting him skeet all in you. You're getting raw dick. That's a willful decision. So you do that, you're taking that chance that you're going to have a child. So what you're going to do with it? If you can't take care of the child, don't have one. That's why I don't have a issue with abortion in the sense of I'm fighting truth in there, rah rah against it. Why? When so many people don't take care of these children now. They're having children just to be having children and not doing anything to take care of them. They in a financial burden already, and now they bring a child into it. What the fuck is that? What the fuck did that do for the child? You working as a fucking you working 9 to 5, making $7.50 an hour. Now you bring a child into this? What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Why you want to put your child through all this? Now you can't do nothing. I remember that there was one story where this I think it was a 10-year-old girl. She was special needs, and the school that these parents had the child in was abusing this child. The kids and the damn teachers were abusing the child. Child came home was putting Fabuloso on herself because of what those kids up there and the teachers did to to that child. That child ended up killing herself. That's the kind of situation you put yourself in when you don't have no funds to take care of this child. When you can't either sue the fuck out of that school and get them fucking parents, teachers out of that school, or remove your child from that school. That's the kind of stuff that you leave your child in when you don't plan these children. That's the kind of stuff you be in when you are not financially prepared to take care of these children. You mad at some dude because he left you. Now you beating your child. But guess what? You didn't want that child to begin with. You wanted it for him. Put yourself in that position. Now you get your child here, you beating the child for what? You killing the child for what? Because he left you? You're a disgusting human being if you do that. I don't care if you're male or female. You harm and kill your child because of some other person. I'm not going to look at them. I'm looking at you. Many have these children for public benefits. Yeah, I even forgot. I forgot about that. But yeah, these people, they're not having these children for the benefit of the child. They're having these children for their own selfish reasons. For money. for this goofball and this ain't shit chick. And then when they leave, that dude cheat on them because he wasn't worth shit anyway. This chick wasn't worth shit anyway. They're gonna take it out of the children. And you want me to, well, you got to give them grace. No, I don't give no grace to anybody who harms children. I don't care if you're male or female. I give you no grace. The child is innocent. You're a grown adult. The only people I have grace to a degree is children. But adults, no, I don't have no grace for you. I don't have no sympathy for you. I might have some empathy, but I don't have no sympathy for you if you harm your children. I don't give a damn what this dude did. I don't give a damn what this woman do. You don't harm your children because of it. And if you are a horrible human being, and you deserve anything that comes to you. Anything. Male or female, I don't give no fucks. You deserve anything that comes with that. And the reason why I even feel like this, because I remember this personal life. My father tried to kill my mother. Oh yeah, I didn't find that out until I was 19 years old. But when I was 5, I wasn't home at the time. I was with my brother, my oldest brother. My mother was planning to leave my father. My father tried to kill my mother. When my brothers found out, they were going to kill my father. Oh yeah, they were going to kill his ass. The only person that stopped them was my mother. Now, think about this. The man that you love tried to kill you, and you're raising the offspring of that man. You think my mother treated me badly? You think my mother treated me with disrespect? No, she raised me. She even raised me to have respect for him. She didn't have to do that. She could have turned me against my father, just like 50's son mother did to him. She could have did that, but she didn't. She made me call my dad. She made me respect him. Hey, she might say he was cuckoo, but hey, that's no news to me. I know he cuckoo. I be around him. But she never tried to turn me against my father. So that's why I say what I say about these mothers and even these fathers. I don't give a damn what that other person do to you. You do not take it out on that child. You have no excuse for that. No, what men make women. I don't give a shit. She's supposed to love that child regardless of what that man does. And that's same with that man. You're supposed to love your child regardless of what that woman does. If you can't do that, you don't have children. You don't need children. Be by yourself. No excuses. My mother had every excuse to abandon me because my other brothers were grown. She had every excuse. She could, hey, the man that you love tried to kill you. I would have understood if she would have abandoned me and left me with my uncle or anybody else, but she didn't because she had love for me. Because she wanted me for her legacy. That's her honor. That's why I don't give no excuses to any woman that kills their children, harms their children because of what some man do. I don't give that any leeway or anything, and I don't do the same for fathers who abandon their children, legit abandon their children, who don't take care of their children. I don't give no excuses for that at all. And I don't blame the other parent for it either. That's what some of these people want to do. Now, sorry, you can take that and shove it. I will never do that. You, as a parent, how you treat that child is on you, not on the other parent, male or female. If you can't handle that, you really don't care about children. So maybe it might be best you don't have children. And maybe some of you who want to give these parents excuses for mistreating, abusing, and killing children, maybe you shouldn't be around children either, because you sure don't give a damn about them. You really don't care. You care either about the women or you care about the men, but you don't care about these children. That's really said a lot about you as a person. Me, I have sense enough to understand that you have to care about children. You have to want children for yourself, for your legacy. If you don't have children. It's as simple as that. And I'm not going to shame anybody for not having children, because at the end of the day, they know themselves. It's just like some people shame people for not getting married. These people know themselves. No, I don't want to be in a relationship with a woman. No, I don't want to be in a relationship like that with a man. They know themselves. Why are you going to shame them for that? Well, they're going to be alone. Okay, they be alone. That's them. Let them deal with it. Why are you shaming somebody for that? Why are you shaming somebody for not wanting children? Which would you rather have? They don't have children at all. Therefore, they don't have children that they don't want. They won't mistreat them. They won't abuse them. They won't raise them right. So they become fucked up adults. You rather have that than somebody just say, I don't want children. We're good. We got enough messed up adults out here. We got enough messed up children. Why do we want to add more to the problem? The goal is for everybody to look in that mirror and say to themselves, if this person here or not, am I going to raise this child? I was once married, divorced, no children, no regrets. That's good. That's good. That's max. Same thing. Married, divorced, no children, no regrets. As far as the children part, I have a little regrets on how that ended, and how I treated my ex-wife, and I have regrets on some of those things. But as far as the children, no, I don't have no regrets. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. If it wasn't, it wasn't. That's how I live. And I'm not gonna let nobody shame me for that, and I'm not letting nobody look down on me for that. And a lot of people do try to look down on people that don't have children. I'm like, why? Well, our community needs people. No, we don't need fucked up people. We need good people. So if we have less children, but productive children that can actually benefit a community and actually be a good father, a good mother, that's a win. Let's have good, productive people first. Then we can worry about the children and stuff. I'm sorry. We don't. A lot of these people in society right now are at ground zero. We need people to be productive people first, sound mind and body first before we even talk about the children part. And this ain't just black folks. Shoot, do you see some of these white folks, their kids? They ain't getting the girlfriend, the boyfriend they want. They want to shoot up everybody. No, we need to get back to just being productive people first. Let's be productive people. Let's let's be focused on our legacy and and having a stable life first. Then we'll worry about the children later. That's what we got to be back get back to. Let's people be stable. Get your health right. Get your mind right. Your finances right first. Then worry about children. Even married, building that relationship up. Then talk about children. I remember this is the last story before I get out of here. I had a coworker. He had met this woman. Well, he knew this woman from Canada, and he had yeah, but he had met this woman in Canada, and I guess they've been talking, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna marry her, and we're gonna move to we'll move to New York. And New York is expensive, right? So me and my other coworker, we was like, hey, dude, maybe you need to bring her down here. You got a job here. You're making decent money. Why don't you bring her here? We in, why don't you bring her here? We're in Houston. You're here in Well, he lived in Pearland. Why don't you bring her down here where you have a job, you have everything, set up shop here? No, I'm gonna move over there. So he quits, moves over there. Couldn't find no job, couldn't get nothing. Finally, he had to move back here. He moved out there to Katy, Texas, which is for anybody to know, it's just outside of Houston, west side of Houston, and it's expensive to live out there. So he had to work three jobs. But at the time, he was working one. He had to work three, and he was having no time for his wife. And they also she had a teenage daughter, and we go out one night, and he would try to tell me, how to deal with my ex at the time because I was still married. I told him, I said, dude, you're not spending time with your wife. You need to build that relationship up because you're gonna break up. Something might happen. I remember maybe 4, 5, maybe 6 months after that happened. Um, I come to work one day, and one of my other coworkers say, "Hey, uh, you know what happened to so and so, right?" I'm like, "What happened?" He was on the news. On the news? News for what? Yeah, he beat up his wife, and he was found out he was messing with the child. I said, "What?" And so I'm trying to call him. I'm calling him. I got his email. I'm trying to talk. I said, "Hey, bro, hey, contact me. Hey, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. I'm hearing all this stuff. Hey, I need to talk to you." I want to talk to him. Could never reach him. So now I don't know if he actually molested the child. I don't know. That was never proven. I never could find a news story or nothing like that. I never found that out, and I didn't want to know. But I know they broke up. Him and his wife broke up, and probably a few years later after that, he deleted himself. And I didn't find out that until like 8 months after he did it. I was just looking on YouTube. I mean, no, not Facebook. No, one of our mutual friends was like, "Hey, have you heard from him?" I was like, "No, I haven't heard from him." Then she said, "Yeah, I think he. Yeah, I looked this up. I think he deleted himself." I said, "What?" So sure enough, I found Facebook. I found out his mother. They had the Facebook post that he had deleted himself, and come to find out, he was dealing with depression, and he was dealing with it a long time. And when he separated from his wife, it just took him down a spiral to he just delete himself. And this is what I'm talking about when we talk about we want people to have all these children, but we're not focused on the people themselves. We need people to be stable people, people that are not doing having children because of somebody else. They're having children because they want to have children, they want to raise children for themselves because they want to leave a legacy. And it doesn't make sense to have children if you're not doing it for yourself and not on some selfish reason for money or anything, but you want to leave a lasting legacy in this world. If you're not doing it for that, you don't need to have children, period. End of discussion. So with that, I'm gonna leave it there because I could go on and on about this and just be rambling. Let me think. People who came in. Sugar Bomb, first person here, came through. Thank you for coming through. Conscious Moron coming through. He's coming back on YouTube. Miss you, brother. Miss you for a minute because your panels be some thought provoking conversations over there. BMT, Business Minded Talk, my brother, uh, always promoting me, always shouting me out, always being very supportive of me, and I've been very supportive of him, and he's no nonsense with stuff. He's fair and balanced, and I thank him for that because I try to model his mindset, because I think it's the better mindset for people because we got a lot of people who make excuses for both sides, men and women, and it's time to stop. I also like to thank Omanike Mama Max for coming through. Thank you for coming through, ma'am. And for anybody else who came through the clouds, watching through, who may watch the replay, thank you very much for coming through. In the end, if you're gonna have children, have them for your legacy. Have them because you really want to love and respect, and you want these children to be better people than yourself. If you're not doing that, don't have children. And remember, for my brothers, and I guess for the women here too, be powerful or be powerless. The choice is yours. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good one. Peace.